going on, everyone? So when the Lakers signed Gabe Vincent this past offseason, it was a huge prize, right? I mean, starting caliber type point guard in the NBA Finals for the Miami Heat, a guy that elevates come the playoffs, a guy that isn't afraid of the moment, that can do multiple things on the basketball court. I can initiate the offense. He can be a point of attack defensive guy. He can knock down the three ball. He's in that kind of prototypical George Hill, Mario Chalmers, Avery Bradley type that usually has a ton of success alongside LeBron James as a guy that can, yes, he can initiate the offense, but also slide over, play off ball, knock down the open three. It was like, okay, we lost Dennis Schroeder, but this is a guy that can come in and kind of offset the loss of Schroeder. He doesn't have like the foot speed and necessarily athleticism, but he does have a lot of things and makes up for in a lot of ways that Schroeder doesn't. Also, Gabe Vincent is a little more consistent, right? Schroeder, at times, Schroeder's ceiling is higher when Schroeder is on, right? When he's on, I mean, he go get you 25 and 8 and play some defense and just be your hustle guy. Just do a lot of things. But as we've seen with the several stints with the Lakers, Schroeder one game will go give you a 25 and look like, you know, a premier point guard in the league. And you're like, wow, like, here we go, let's go, Schroeder. And then the next game, he's like 2 of 11. Right? And he's like turning the ball over and just, yeah, he always gives you that energy. He always gives you that point of attack where I feel like Gabe Vincent, he kind of just, he's better at understanding his role. He fits better, in my opinion, with just the pieces that we have, right? With all the playmakers and guys that can create. It'd be nice to have a guy where Dennis Schroeder, he's not really the shooter that Gabe Vincent can be at times. Gabe Vincent is kind of hot and cold compared to the regular season and postseason. In the regular season, he's like around league average, but in the postseason, he's like anywhere from 38 to 40% from three. So you get that, again, that elevation. But it was more of just like, hey, here's a defensive piece that can also be a scoring threat on any given night. We've seen games that he's had with the Lakers, primarily preseason, because he's only had really 5 games with the Lakers. But we saw moments with the Lakers in which he had like 18 points and was knocking down a bunch of threes and playing defense and making plays. And you're like, okay, this is, you can see the vision. You can see what you're expecting from Gabe Vincent. And also a guy that's just, he's not afraid of the moment, right? Because this team, we talk about it, is built for the playoffs. But Gabe Vincent, he's been out for some time. He's only played 5 games this year, and it looks like we're finally getting him back. So Gabe Vincent, he could be back as soon as Sunday against the Brooklyn Nets. So he's not, tomorrow the Lakers play the Pacers. He's not expected to be back for that game, but he may lace up for the Brooklyn Nets game. Now, again, this is huge because, one, the Lakers are really hitting their stride right now. The Lakers are really building that momentum and heading in the right positive direction, which we need to keep, right? If we want to get that 7th or 8th, we got to keep just keeping the fire hot, right? Well, big issue is the balance right now. Offensively, we're great. We're amongst the best in the league. We're ridiculous. I mean, even 3-point shooting percentage, although we don't take a ton of them. I mean, all across the board, offensively, the Lakers are like elite right now. You know, they're like second in efficiency. They're like first in total points. They're like top 7 in 3-point percentage. They're like dead last in attempts. But point is that like the offense is there. It's the defense that has been a real issue for the Lakers, right? I have liked in some cases, the defense better, right? Like, I feel like Austin Reeves in particular has actually been a lot better the last, like, handful of games on the defensive side. So hopefully that's a trend, right? We got Cam Reddish back. He's looked rough in spots, but as we saw with Jared Vanderbilt, it's going to take a little time to get these guys get back into the flow, get their timing down, get the rhythm down, right? Even on the defensive side of things. It's not as simple as like, oh, you just move your feet and you stay in front of a guy. No, you have to understand, you know, court awareness, understand positioning. You have to have your footing and your timing down for when a guy moves. Like, there's a lot of things that go into defense. Being able to fight through and around and under screens. There's, again, a lot of variables involved in the defense side of things. But you got Cam Reddish. Get Gabe Vincent back. Hopefully it sticks. Again, he's only played 5 games for the Lakers. If he can stick around and he can start finding his rhythm, he can start finding his flow, all we're waiting on is Jared Vanderbilt from the defense side. I know we have, you know, Christian Wood and stuff, but I'm talking about solely the defensive side. Jared Vanderbilt comes back, all of a sudden, we might finally have that balance. And it's like, we're hitting our stride. We're getting all our defensive pieces back. If we can find that perfect complement going into the playoffs, again, watch out. I'll take my chances with anybody. Let's go. Sign me up. Right? Seriously, I will gladly take my chances against anybody. If you tell me we get Jared Vanderbilt back, Gabe Vincent, right? We have all of our defensive pieces. We have our offense flowing the way that it's flowing, right? The only question is, could Darvin Ham properly rotate these guys, properly structure these guys within the system and the offense? You know, there are still some hurdles that we're definitely going to have to get over, but just to have all of these things kind of come in at the same time, it's huge, right? It's like if we were struggling right now and these guys are coming, it's like, yeah, you're hopeful, but you're like, man, we're so far behind. But no, it's like, man, it's like you got this over here, and it's like, yes, let's go. And then you got this over here. It's like, oh, come on, let's go. And now Gabe Vincent's coming back. It's like, let's go. We're just waiting on the news for Jared Vanderbilt. If Vando comes back, watch out, right? And the good thing is they're coming back, or at least Gabe Vincent is, coming back with enough time to really gain some footing, right? He would be coming back with, like, we got, what, 9 games left? That would be huge, right? Because probably going to take him 9 to 10 games to kind of get back into a rhythm, get back into being the guy that we need him to be. I mean, you saw it with Jared Vanderbilt, right? Jared Vanderbilt, it took him like 8 games to really kind of get back to looking like Jared Vanderbilt. And then we had like that 2 or 3 game stretch where, okay, there he is, let's go. And then, oh man, he gets hurt again. So we'll see what happens with Vando. Hopefully Vando comes back. This also discredits that article from CBS that said, you know, Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt were going to miss the season. Look, I talked about it. Everybody was saying that they're coming back at some point this season. It was only the CBS article. That's why I said, like, you know, take that with a grain of salt. When people ask me, you know, how, like, what is my opinion on it? I was like, I'm going to believe the 15 credible sources that say that Gabe Vincent and potentially Jared Vanderbilt's coming back. Jared Vanderbilt's always been a question mark, but he's making the progress to potentially come back. So, but everybody was like, look, Gabe Vincent, he's going to be back by mid to late March. And then you had this one report that was like, no, he's not coming back. You know, he's likely to miss the season. And it's like, again, like, I'm going to trust the consensus of credibility over the one person that don't really know whether he's credible or not, saying that, hey, this is happening. Right? It's no knock. I'm not saying that his information was wrong, but there's different levels to this information. It's what I've talked about. You know, there's a big difference between getting your information from, say, a trainer or Gabe Vincent himself or the head coach or an exec or somebody that would know, and getting your information from, you know, the water boy or the concession clerk or the guy that checks tickets or, you know, the janitor, whatever, right? Like, there's big differences between where are the sources coming from. But, you know, it's still coming from the Lakers. So it's like, hey, well, maybe they do know. Maybe they talked to somebody, right? Oh, this is the guy that, you know, that goes and it helps the assistant to Jeannie, right? Like, oh, so maybe he does know something. It's different than when you're getting the information from Jeannie herself, right? Now you're playing the telephone game. So, again, I think that's all that was. I think it's just, I'm not saying, I would hope that there's some, you know, reporting integrity, and they're just not just saying stuff, just say stuff and hope for, oh, maybe this will happen. But we knew Gabe Vincent was coming back. Jared Vanderbilt's still the question. Again, I would love, doesn't look like he's going to come back soon, but hopefully he's right around the corner. I'd like him back with at least, give me like 5 games. Give me like 5 games with Jared Vanderbilt back. So that way he can, again, kind of get into a flow and a rhythm. As far as Gabe Vincent goes, we're going to need him. Now, I know a lot of people are super down on Gabe Vincent. I get it. I understand it. But look, he's a piece that can greatly help. And how do you kind of bring back the support? How do you kind of win over the people that are like, hey, we're just kind of over Gabe Vincent right now? You play great. You make some defensive plays. You hit some big shots. You do what your job is asked of you. All of a sudden, all those people will come around. I like Gabe Vincent. I believe in Gabe Vincent. I think that he's a guy that can really make an impact on this roster. Does Gabe Vincent make us the best team in the league? No. But he's another guy that you add to the core that we have that does something that some of the other guys don't, that can fit in with everybody that you have and really kind of have an impact on both sides of the basketball. It's just, will he translate that? Because he was only like 3 of 17 from 3 or something like that prior. Like, he's not even shooting like 2% from 3-point range right now. Like, he's shooting terrible. But we saw in games, we know his history. We know that he's capable of doing it. So can he right the ship? Can he get a rhythm, get a flow? It's probably going to be a little rough to start. So don't just immediately go, he's trash. Like, there we go. See, look, Gabe Vincent. No, like, give him some time like we did Jared Vanderbilt, like we did anybody else, right? What do people keep saying when Jared Vanderbilt? Oh, don't worry, he'll be back. He'll be fine. Why? Because of his history. Gabe Vincent has a history. Let's trust the sample sizes that we have saying that this guy's going to be good for us. So give him some time. Be a little patient. I know it's hard. I know it's frustrating. But if he can get there, he's going to be a valuable piece for us going into the playoffs, going into the play-in tournament, all of that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts of Gabe Vincent being back? Are you excited? Are you not? Are you kind of like, I'm just kind of over the whole thing? Which, again, I completely understand. But what would it take for you to kind of be win back over, right? This is what I talked about. Gabe Vincent shows up, balls out. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.